This is definitely a unique question that I have not seen yet. So this is from Gregory, which, let's see, Gregory's not in the room today, so oh well. So what he would like to do is, so we can see he's got bar 0 labeled for us, right? So this would be the bar at which, the position is opened. And then, right, he's got the bars numbered. So as every bar advances, as we get a new bar here, right, he's got them numbered. What he would like to do is the stop loss is to be set at the bar low. And so as each new bar closes forward in time, right, so we got bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 labeled here. What he would like to do is he would like the stop loss to move to a further bar back, right? So when bar 1 advances here, then he would like the stop loss to be set to the low of 1 bar back from the bar that opened the position, right? From bar 0 where the position was opened. And then as bar 2 closes, then move stop loss to the low of bar, of 2 bars back from the position, or from the trade bar or the signal bar. And, so it's basically just a repeating process here. So as bar 3 closes, then move the stop loss, to the 3rd bar back from the signaling bar, move that stop loss to the low. So you can see he's got kind of a line here marked at the low of each of the bars, identifying, where he wants the stop loss moved. Definitely a little unique situation here. So, this can be done in BlackBird, but when we get into it, we'll see that, there is basically some kind of a limitation to this, right? Because it's counting bars. So, and BlackBird's not, it's not a counting indicator here. But, this can be done to some extent. So it'll become clear what I mean here once we start building all of these trailing rules, right? So essentially, every bar forward in time is going to require a new trailing rule to be built. All right, so let's minimize this. And let's open up BlackBird here. All right, so in order to get, into the stop loss, just in order to get a stop loss order, we first need to set up the entry order here. So I'll just pick a market entry order to get things started. And now we can see the profit targets and the stop losses show up. So let's see, I will start by using, the previous bar, low, high, just to get us started here. And so if we take a look at this, right, our initial placement is going to be, right, the low price of the bar, of the signal bar, right? So a look back period of 1, that would be the signal bar. All right. So there you go. So that gets the initial placement of the stop loss set. So now we can go into the trailing actions tab here, and let's expand this out a little bit. And we're going to set the mode to custom. So there we go. And now we can start making some custom trailing rules here. All right, so let's add our first trailing rule. I guess we'll just call this bar 1. Let's see here. So the trigger on, so we can kind of use the trigger on to start counting here. So let's see here. If we look at the delay option here, we can see that we have a bars option here. So we'll set this to 1. All right, so that'll be a 1 bar delay. And then the action, and I've got a problem with my mouse here. It loves to double click now, so I'm going to have to buy a new mouse pretty soon. So then you might see the menus kind of flashing as my mouse is double clicking on the menus. So, all right, so in the action, that's going to set the price at which we're going to move the stop loss to. So in the action, we're going to go to Move To, open up this menu, and we see the mode is set to price, which is what we want. And we want to use the low, but this time we want to go 2 bars back. Oops. There you go, 2 bars back. And we want to use the single, and we want to use the value, the single value of that second bar back. Right? So that's that. So it's just as simple as that. And the repeat, right? So these trailing rules, they're only going to execute one time, right? So there is no repeating of this trailing rule. So we just leave the repeat on none, on no repeat. And essentially, there we go. We're done. So let's add another rule here. So bar 2. And again, we'll go into the trigger and use the delay, use the bar, and put it on 2 bars, a 2-bar delay. And we just go into the action again and set the price to the low. And now we're going to go 3 bars back, like so. All right, and again, no repeat. So each trailing rule is only going to execute one time. So, and then we're just going to do this again. All right, so the trigger on, we're going to use a delay, and we're going to use a bar delay, like so. And keep adjusting the action there. Let's see, no offset. Sorry, there we go. We want, there we go, that. And, oops. Yeah, my mouse is doing a lot of double clicking right now. All right, bar 4. And I guess while I'm at it, I'll rename this one. So this will be bar 5. All right, and so on and so forth. Use the bar. Oh, come on, there we go. Set the action for the next one down. All right, the 5th bar. All right, so now let me go and, oh, I need to go back in here and set the price correct for bar 3 trailing rule. So let's set that back to the low. And let's see. There, bar 3. And all right, for some reason it's not taking it. Let's see what's going on here. Just wonder if my double clicking is messing things up. It shouldn't be. There we go. Okay, that took it. All right, so bar, let's see, look back period of 4 for the trailing rule for bar 4. There we go. And I'll do one final one here. So let's see, set the price back to low and set our look back period to 5. Oh, actually, yeah, I need to adjust all the look back periods here. So yeah, let me explain here. Right, this sounded a little too easy to be true, didn't it? So keep in mind here that this look back period, right? It's always going to be from the current bar. Yeah, it's always going to be from the current bar here. So yeah, I did get the first one correct. And so what I mean from the current bar is let's let's take a look at that screenshot again. All right. So as each bar is closing, right, as each bar, as we're advancing each bar forward, so from bar 1, right, so if bar 1 is the current bar that currently closed, remember, we're looking back 2 bars. And so now when bar number 2 closes, we're now looking back 1, actually from here, when this bar closes, it's going to be bar 1, 2, 3. Yeah, looking back 3 bars. So when bar 2 closes, we're going to be looking back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars. And then when bar 3 closes, we're going to be looking back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars. And then when bar 4 closes, let's see, that'd be bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bars. So actually, yeah, we're advancing. So as every bar closes going forward in time, right, we're having to look back an additional 2 bars. So actually, bar number 1 is going to be looking back, sorry, I miscounted on that one. It's going to be looking back 1, 2, 3 bars. Yeah, so we need to go in and make that adjustment here. So let's see. All right, so for bar number 1, let's take a look at our action, and we want that to be 3 bars. There. All right, bar number 2, we want that to be 5 bars. Oops. And then bar number 3, we want that to be 7 bars. There we go. And my mouse is doing a lot of double clicking, so I need to double check things here. Yeah, that's on 5. Good. Let's check bar number 1. Make sure, yep, that's bar 3. Good. Okay, so bar number 4, we need to set that to 9 bars. So it's going to have a 9 bar look back. And bar number 5, that'll be looking back 11 bars. There. Okay. Yeah, so there we go. Getting the look back period obviously is important to getting this working, as designed. So, yep. So there we go. Let's see. It's going to be pretty time-consuming testing this, but we'll try and do a little test. But let's get back to the core question. So you can kind of see you can kind of see and visually understand what I'm meaning by there is kind of a limitation to this, because you have to create a trailing rule, for every bar, forward in the trade here. All right, let me save this here. All right, something like that. Okay, save that there. Yeah, for the sake of time, let me switch to, let's see. Yeah, how about a 15-second chart? There we go. I was hoping we get a more variety in, bar lows here. I think I'm gonna have to mess with the data feed here. So let me disconnect this. So I've got everything saved for BlackBird. So it's gonna be safe to disconnect, and that's gonna shut the strategy down. And so let me connect to a data feed here, so I can fill in this gap in the data. And there we go. Great. Well, actually, yeah, I'll just run BlackBird on some real data. Oh, and let's switch over to the current contract. That ought to have less gaps in it. And okay, yeah, different instrument. All right, that'll be fine. All right, so let's see here. How about, I'll just go take a long trade. And let's see, let's see, let's see. Yeah, 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 let's see, let's see. Yeah Oh, and got hit already. All right, let's try and go long again. There we go. All right, so we'll see how this works out if we don't get stopped out again. So, yeah, this may not work out unless the market keeps going higher because the stop loss is going to move up. Yep. So, I mean, I could see it for a split second. The stop loss moved up, and then it got hit. Let's see. Yeah, let's try and shoot. You know, the NQ is so volatile. This might be a little tough to do. Yeah, we'll try and go short here. Well, that's not going to work out either. All right, I'll try and go short one more time. Oh, actually, there's one more thing that we need to do. So, yeah, keep in mind that we're trying to, let's see here, what happened to, yeah, you know what happens, my mouse is double clicking and I messed up my docking panels here. So, you know, if your docking panels, you know, if you lose one of your docking panels or they get, they just, something happens with your docking panels here. A little tip. If you go up to the BlackBird layout menu, there's a reset button here. Click that, and there we go. We can see there we go. It restored my settings panel here so I can get back to my order settings here. So I got to be careful with my mouse because earlier I was moving the menus around and the mouse double clicked on me and it kind of messed things up. So yeah, so if you mess your menus up, which these are called docking panels, you can just go to the layout and hit the reset button there. Okay, anyways, back to some further adjustments that we need to make here. So in order to let's pull up this screenshot here, right? So if we look at, the screenshot that was sent in, and again, if we look at the negative bar numbers here, right, they're low prices, so if this was a long trade, right, we're actually moving the stop loss backwards, right? That is very counterintuitive to what stop losses are designed to do, right? So BlackBird, follows the traditional conventions of stop losses, and so it's the default settings for BlackBird is to prevent stop losses from going backwards, right? So we need to disable a few of those safety features, right? So the first one is we'll need to go into risk management and allow widening of your stop loss, right? So again, if we look at this screenshot, if the stop loss, if we're in a long trade, stop losses should be tightening the stop loss, or the trailing rules of stop losses typically tighten the stop loss. But if we're moving that stop loss backwards, then we're actually widening that stop loss, right? And you're increasing the risk. So, yeah, so enable the widening. And then also, let's go back into the trailing rules here. And in the action, allow movement, right? Its default is with the direction of the trade only. So we need to allow both directions here. So yeah, that's another thing that needs to be done is set movement to both directions. Okay, there we go. So good. So we had basically the safety features of stop loss trailing turned off now. So let's save this again and close. All right, and let's try and take a long trade again. Let's see if this will work out. So hopefully our market will keep moving higher, and we'll see the stop loss move down and then move up and then move up and then move down. But this crazy market, yeah, you know what? Maybe the NQ is it's probably a really bad market to be testing on. It's really volatile. So let's see here. Let's try and let's see. Let me take a look at the YM. There. All right, we'll give the YM a shot here. Yep. Now these two bars both had a same low price. So when this next bar closes, there we go. Stop loss moved down. And hopefully the market will move a little higher because our stop loss is going to move up to the next bar here. There we go. It moved up to the next bar. And then it's going to move back down here to this next bar. Well, market didn't quite let it get there, did it? Okay, but you know, we managed to at least get a few bars of testing in to see that it definitely looks like it's working correctly. Yeah, well, there we go. If the market's going to move higher, I think we've got a good opportunity to test this out all the way. All right, so the stop loss is going to stay here for 2 bars. All right, so this bar and this next bar back both have the same low price. There we go. So I think we're on this bar now. And so next, the stop loss should move down. Let's see. And let's see. Okay, it moved up to here. Let's see. I think it missed moving down to this bar. Yeah, let's close that. And let's open up the settings here. And let's take a look. I think it would be bar number 4 rule here. Let me just double check this. Yeah, set to both directions. Number 9. All right. Previous one. Number 7. And 11. Yeah, everything's set correctly. All right, maybe I just missed it or miscounted. Let's see. Wow, market's really going higher. Let's try this one more time. There we go. Good. We can see the stop loss is falling backwards. There we go. Move back one more bar. And let's see. I think, yeah, it'll move back down here. There we go. Great. And I think we have one more trailing roll left to execute. That'll move it up to here. There we go. Great. It moved up. And let's see if it's going to move up one more time. But I think we're out of trailing rolls. So I don't think it's going to move anymore, but we'll see here. And no, it didn't move, did it? No. Let's see. I'll wait for one last bar to close. Nope. Yeah, we reached our last trailing roll. So there we go. All right. So Gregory, there you go. Here, let me get this adjusted here. Yeah. So taking a look at this, essentially you just have to keep adding, more and more trailing rolls, depending on how many bars back you want to keep counting there. All right. So there you go, sir.